What's up and welcome to Party Invite, where we invite you to a gaming community of diverse enthusiasts. Your party members today are Thomas Egan.
Oh, hello there.
Carlos Gomez.
That's me.
And I'm your party leader, Chris Mowry. On today's episode, we'll talk about what we've been playing, of course, and we'll get into our news segment now known as The Drop. It's a little tease for later. But first, let's get into what we've been playing. I am very excited right now to talk about this game that I have been playing, that I played the demo for, thanks to Steam Next Fest and our stream yesterday. Inscryption.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. What a game. So Inscryption is a card builder puzzle room creepy spoop.
Let's look this up in the store again, because it has so many words in the description that it's just like, what does this even mean?
Yeah.
Let's see. Inscryption, if I can spell it correctly. So Inscryption is published by Devolver Digital. Developer is Daniel Mullins Games. Let's see. This says, Inscryption is an inky black card-based odyssey that blends the deck-building roguelike, escape room-style puzzles, and psychological horror into a blood-laced smoothie. Darker still are the secrets inscribed upon the cards.
Yeah. So as people know, we play card games. We have a feature called A La Carte that we haven't done one for in a while, but this one will definitely be popping up there very shortly. It comes out next Tuesday.
Yeah. I can't wait.
The 12th. It looks like it's only on PC as of right now. So yeah, if you've played any sort of card game before, you sort of know what you're getting into. Because I was kind of rapid fire in some of this just because I'm familiar with card games before. You know, it wasn't too much learning.
I don't know, man. You had chances to play that cat early, and you just kept playing squirrels. I was like,
it up.
This guy
Loved it. You have to play the squirrels, though, in order to sacrifice to get the cat.
That's true, but you only have to do it one time to have a permanent cat on the board. So what we're talking about is you start off this game, and so all three of us did a demo day yesterday. So we each picked the game and played it. We're going to talk about each of those here on the show. But the game I was most excited for going into this was Inscryption. Wait, all that stuff is from this game? Oh, that's crazy. Okay.
Yeah.
I realized I had not watched the end of this trailer in a while.
Yeah.
The game, it starts off and it's, a card game. And the basic foundation. You're like, okay, but then some weird stuff happens. The weirdest of which is
you could walk away from the table, and there's a little cabin that you're in, and you can interact with things in the room. There's you kind of look to your left, and that does feel weird. I will say the WASD. It's almost like what's that old game? Mist. Where when you turn, it's like a full turn. It's very weird and kind of off-putting at first. But you'll see to your left, there's a clock that clearly is going to be some sort of puzzle later. Mm-hmm. There is a safe that you'll need to get the combination for. There is a locked chest that you're going to need to somehow get a key for. The demo that I played, that's available on Steam, still, because it was not a part of Next Fest, or it is a part of Next Fest, but it's its own. It's like its own demo, so it's up there. You can play it. It's really, really good, and I got I got to the end of the demo, which is that boss fight that you fight at the end there. What's it called? The Prospector that I died a couple times on. Once you beat him, the game happens, and you're all excited, and you're can't wait to see what happens next. And it flashes on the screen, memory card full, and then it shows you that trailer that is the last trailer I think I gave you there, Thomas. On the that last YouTube trailer.
Let me pull this up real quick.
Yeah, pull that one up, and then pull up the second one there, because it's a dev walkthrough that they posted.
Oh, the demo on Steam, I see.
So yeah, this one is the way the game ends is pretty abrupt. Or the demo ends. It says memory card full. The screen goes staticky and shakes, and then it starts this little trailer to let you know that the game's coming out soon. But there's so much like mystery and like creepy charm to this game that I love. I love that your cards talk to you. Yeah, this is what plays at the end here. That's very odd. And I was like, oh my god, what is happening?
Everything about this is meta. The whole thing.
Yes, it's very aware of itself. Like when you boot up the game, it says something like, all right, well, let's see what's on this thing. So it almost feels like
a found
you're
footage
watching
thing.
something, or maybe it's that floppy disk he picks up. Maybe that's what it is. I have no idea. Or it's like a VHS tape of some kind. It's wild. I don't even know what's going on with this top-down stuff. I have no idea what that is. Anyway, there's so much going on here to love. With some of these cards will talk to you and tell you things. Like I was playing earlier today, and that little like muskrat thing that I had that started talking to me originally.
That is the stoat, sir.
The stoat.
Oh, that's right.
Thank you. Stoat the goat. He will tell you stuff throughout the game. Like he was dropping hints. He was like, hey, because like basically the guy keeps telling you as you play, like, hey, you can get up from the table now if you want and go look around. And so I kind of did that a couple times, and there wasn't much to do. Then I got back into battle and combat, and he was like, that little stoat was like, hey, there's a passcode or a password somewhere in the rule book. So maybe take a look at that rule book. And sure as shit, there was a number there that then the next time I was able to get up from the table, I was able to unlock the.
My bad, messing up the stream here.
Are you showing the?
Yep, I'm learning here. I'm trying to show our VOD from Twitch yesterday, but I keep forgetting to press the studio mode button, so suddenly the entire stream is just like my browser.
That's what I like. That's what I love.
On episode 88, it's going to be different.
So what was fun is they like talk to you and give you this information. So then I was able to unlock the safe. Then once I unlocked the safe, there was another card in there. It's like, then he's talking to me now and telling me things. And there was a key in there, so I was able to go unlock that thing. And then there was some sort of weird puzzle thing that I didn't quite understand, but still somehow unlocked and was able to get cards that the guy in the cabin had hidden away. This demon, or I don't know what you call him. He's the game master or something.
Yeah, game master sounds like the best description, because it's not really clear even if he's alive or dead or what.
Right. Yeah. And so he was like, "Oh, I left those cards in there. I totally forgot. I guess I'll let you keep them." Like after I figured out the puzzle and got them out. But something that really, really fun that happens is when you die, you get two chances, basically. You have two candles that are on the board, and once you die once, you kind of get another go at it. And then once the other one goes out, the run starts over. And you have a starting deck and all that. But when you die, you get a death card. And this happens multiple times. So you guys saw me die once, and we named the card If Rabbits Could Die.
Yeah.
And I was able to take different pieces from other cards to build my own card. So then I died again and was able to do it again and make a new card that would also be a death card that I would find along the way. So that excites me, because in these games, there's like ways of quote unquote making your own cards or things, but not really making your own cards. Like the way I beat this game is going to be different from the way that Thomas beats it.
Right.
Because of the cards that we have and the changes that in the specific death cards that we make. I was really hoping too that when it said it was going to take a picture of you for the card, that it was an actual picture of you from like your cam. It was not. So that was a bit of a bummer. But I mean, that would have been cool, great. Though. Yeah. I was like flipping it off, so it would have been perfect. So yeah, I ended up making one that was, it didn't cost me anything. It had flying and was 3/2. Like, it didn't cost me a sacrifice. It didn't cost me bones. It didn't cost me anything. So a lot of these cards, to play them, you have to sacrifice another creature, which is why the squirrels come in handy. Or you have bones, which are racked up with how many of your creatures die. And you can spend bones in order to play cards. Some of them are free. It's just, there's a lot going on. There's a real fun depth to it. And from the other trailer, Thomas, if you want to grab that middle one and toss that one up, because it's sort of like just a walkthrough with the dev, and it'll show a lot more of the gameplay that I can kind of dig into. It's a lot like Gwent, like you were talking about getting Gwent recently, where it has like 4 across, and I think there's 3 or 4 columns. So there's 2 on each. So basically, I have 2 columns to place. He has 2 columns to place. And he always he does say some stuff, and I'm interested to see how this works.
Oh my
Whenever I
goodness.
was able to get away from the table, he said it would give him time to prepare for the next thing, the next battle. And I was like, what? So I don't know if that makes it harder. So if I get away from the table and start like going around and messing with stuff, does that make him his next, like our next battle, harder? I don't know. But here you'll be able to see kind of the columns I was talking about in the rows. You have the squirrels, which you can sacrifice, and those little blood markers on the wolves there show you that you have to have 2 creatures in order to do that.
Yeah, so in this game, you don't have a mana pool at all. You only have the number of spaces available on the board and the blood cost, so your sacrifice cost.
And there's no hit points either. There's that scale that tips. Once the tail skips all the way in either way, that's how you win. The cards do get more in depth and more crazy as you go along, as you would assume with all card builders. But there's also these like really fun things on the right there. You see that he has a bottle that has a squirrel in it. He can break it any time to use the squirrel. He has a pair of pliers there where you can rip your own tooth out and place it on the scale, and that tips the scales more. It's so good that when the demo ended, I was like, shit. Like I wanted it to keep going. Luckily, I don't have to wait very long.
I didn't even see the
Tuesday.
end of the demo, but because we I don't know, we played for about 30 minutes, and then went to the next game. But I wanted to keep, like, if we didn't have time constraints, like if we were just doing this at home, I would have watched you all the way to the end of that.
Yeah, I mean, see, and something here that they don't tell you, and then they just told you a passcode.
Oh, cool.
That card just told you the passcode to the safe. So now he's going to go to the safe, unlock it. So it's really, really cool interactive stuff like that. Like, if I didn't go do that, the card would just keep saying, like, hey, stop doing this and fucking go and open the safe. There's all this weird FMV stuff that's going to be in there that I'm not really sure how that equates. Seems like there was some browser stuff there too, which is insanity. This game is an amalgamation of a lot of different things, and it is awesome. And once again, Devolver crushes. They fucking crush. If you're ever worried about a game before it came out, and you saw that it came out from Devolver, don't be worried about it, because it's going to be fucking awesome.
Yeah, the chances of it being good are very high.
Very, very high.
I'm really excited about it. The stuff with the cards talking to you reminded me of Undertale when they break the fourth wall a few times.
Yes.
Because it's like, on one hand, it's like cute, kind of. Well, what's really interesting is that it's these characters that suddenly have a personality that you didn't even know were characters until just this moment.
Yes. Because your cards in all other card games are just your cards. They don't really have their own charisma or their own anything. Like for instance, this isn't a spoiler or anything, but when I had those 2 cards that spoke, they started talking to each other.
Oh wow!
And being like, we have there's more of us and others of us, or at least one, and we have another friend here. I think one of them says that the other one's like, I don't know that I call him a friend. So like there's interesting like little story bits going on there. And I'm really excited to see how all this fourth wall breaking, you're watching it on a VHS tape or a floppy disk or something like that. Like how all of that comes together is fascinating. Like I am so excited to see what this game is.
I really want to know how much game there actually is to it.
Yeah.
Like you're going from the card game to unlocking a different kind of gameplay, and then you go back to the card game, and then you unlock a different kind of gameplay. Like how many times is that going to go? Especially with this being a $20 title.
And it's currently $17.99 on Steam.
Yeah.
I would suggest doing that.
So maybe it's a 10-hour game, hopefully. But it's going to be interesting the whole way through.
Yeah, I'm super excited to play this.
I'm all over it. Thomas, if you would please, if you can make this happen, go to this game's website really quick. Inscryption-game.com. Is this going to work or no?
We can make this work, but we're not going to be able to watch you. I'm going to use my words on stream scene. So
we can talk over it because it's absolutely insane. So we just did this right before the stream started, and we were like, what? So that's
oh, just ignore the fact that you can't. Actually, you know what? We don't even need my camera because I'm doing it in a weird way. Okay, so
that's words on stream. This is so. Look how spooky this is.
Okay, actually, hold on one second. I'm gonna switch it back. What's the website called? I mean, really, is it Inscryption?
The link is in the document.
Inscryption-game.com. Yeah, it's in the
game
doc.
Cool. Okay, let's see if
this thing is
works.
Wild to look at. Yes. Okay, so this is the website. And Thomas, if you would just go to exit game for me.
Exit game. What?
Yep. So now you can access all of those things, and they all have their own weird things in it. All the buttons work. It's wild what this game is doing, and all their fun stuff they're doing with it.
Yeah, go check out Notepad.
Yeah, Notepad's cool. There's a lot of interesting, like if you click at the Steam link, it'll just take you to the Steam page. If you click the Google Chrome, it'll take you to the YouTube.
Talk to me in the game and saver there. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, so that's the stoat, which is apparently an animal that exists in the world.
Yeah. What a great fun thing. I like when websites and stuff are just more of the game, or like more. It just opens the world up a little bit more, and it's fucking cool.
It's actually
so.
It does. It actually works.
It totally works. It takes you right to the Steam page and stuff. It's.
Oh, this is fun. This reminds me that I want to play Hypnospace Outlaw sometime.
Yeah, it's really cool. So yeah, that's Inscryption.
Oh, this is all inside the game. This is fun. So this is. I heard you guys doing this before we recorded. I was wondering what that was. In the actual game.
Did you see that? Did you just see there when you were in the YouTube? Go back to the YouTube really quick. Go click that Google Chrome link.
Oh, hold on. Exit game.
So go to exit game. Hit Google Chrome. So if you see the stoat on the top right, keep watching the stoat.
Oh.
Be careful. Things are not what they seem.
That's so trippy.
That is trippy. That's cool.
Trust me and follow my lead. There is always a way out. So the way they are, the presentation of the game and the presentation of just its website and like just the air of mystery around everything is fantastic. I love to see indie devs getting these kinds of opportunities and fully making the most of it. So fucking rad.
That's very cool.
So yeah, that's Inscryption. Thomas, you want to talk about maybe Into the Pit a little bit?
I would. Let me pull this up here. So Into the Pit is a game that I knew absolutely nothing about, except on Twitter I saw Patrick Klepek say that it was a game that he liked on a demo from the Steam Next Fest that was if id Software made a game like Hades, a game with Hades elements. And I was like, okay, that's good enough for me. I don't even have to look up a trailer. I'm going to try that out. So I did, and it was interesting. I definitely liked it. Let's see here.
It was pretty cool. I always have a tough time with games that are really fast. But you seem to be doing all right with it, Thomas. It didn't seem to be a big deal.
Yeah. This is definitely my speed. I haven't played a lot of actual Doom games. I've played some of Doom 2018 or whatever year that was, 2016 maybe.
2016.
I liked it, but didn't beat it. I don't even think I got halfway through. I just set it down for some reason and forgot about it. But I don't play a lot of arena shooters or really fast, breakneck speed games like this. Even Hades, I play Hades pretty slow compared to most people. Because I play most games, I play really slow. And that's fine with me. It just means that this type of game is still pretty new to me. So when I jumped in, let's talk about the combat first, because the other stuff is kind of secondary. You get into this dungeon, this roguelike dungeon run, and you get options of 4 ways that you can go. And so each of these 4 ways, you have a decision between 2 types of reward you get. You do that 4 times, and then you can unlock the next tier of dungeon. So you get these motes that you can spend on different things and influence the outcomes of stuff. After every successful room, you get to exchange or upgrade whatever abilities you have on your hands. The first thing I was offered was a frenzy ability. When you kill things, you do 60% extra damage for X amount of seconds afterwards. So I chose that because I wanted to play fast because it's a demo. And then next it offered me a weapon for each hand. And there was a shotgun, a thing that spreads out like a fan, some long-ranged beam thing. Well, I was like, yo, if we're playing Frenzy, we're taking 2 shotguns, a shotgun in each hand. So we ran around, just zipped super fast all over the place. I'm going to actually replay this trailer here.
It's very fast.
It's very fast. And it's simple, and I like it. It seemed like there was no challenge at all until there suddenly was. And boy, I got messed up real quick when I went to the second tier area. I went from like only taking 1 or 2 hits the entire time to taking a ton of hits, and all of them hurt a lot. Because like the last room we went into, I think I was even like, I don't even know if we're gonna see what it's like to be in danger, and then I didn't even make it out of the room. I immediately got killed.
Yep.
Yeah, bright, flashy. The walls, as Odysseus said, they all look like they're covered in baby oil.
Yep.
And that's the truth. It's a very low-res game that I think works in its favor because it's pretty simple, and the flashy stuff works, and the stuff you don't need to look at, doesn't matter. But you apparently go and save villagers down in this dungeon. I did not get far enough to save even 1 villager. But when you do that, the hub, the little overworld place that you hang out in, stuff unlocks as you get villagers. So you unlock the merchant, you unlock the enchanter, and somebody else I can't remember. But you'll slowly upgrade your home area, which is another element similar to Hades.
Yep.
And I'm interested in what they're doing there. So I can't remember. Maybe this one says that it's still TBD. Maybe it's Bookwalker.
Nope. It's October.
Same day, 19th.
19th? Cool.
No, that's next week. The week after.
Oh, no, I'm looking. Yeah. Coming October 19th, play day 1 on Game Pass. Cool. I have Game Pass, so I will be playing that potentially.
It is on Game Pass. That's a good thing for a game like this, for sure, I think.
Yeah, because if I didn't play the demo and if I didn't have it on Game Pass, I probably would just skip over this and not give it a second thought. But I'm interested. It looks cool. It's a different. It's similar to games that I like that I never stuck with. I stuck with Hades, but I didn't stick with Doom. I've never really stuck with any arena shooter. No Quake. No nothing like that. So I'm interested in that. Who made this? I was just trying to find that.
People, I think.
People. I'll find it out in a second. But that's Into the Pit, and I recommend it. I'm very happy with this game, and I am going to pick it up as soon as I can download it.
Carlos, you want to talk about the one that you hopped into for our demo day / demo dip yesterday, the Bookwalker.
Yeah, just real quick on this one. It was definitely fun, but it's a slow burn. So the Bookwalker, you are playing this character that, for some unknown reason, gets to basically be a thief across all these different book worlds. So it goes from a first-person perspective of this little adventuring to find little clues and stuff. And then you go into the game, go into a book, and when you do that, it turns into the classic CRPG style, where you're just pointing and clicking and walking around trying to deduce things and pick up items that might get you further into the story. The demo was pretty straightforward, but it's a really cool idea. The concept is great. Man, I really wish it had voices.
Yeah. Same with Into the Pit, honestly. Like, Into the Pit needs it.
Yeah, because we gave you the one character that had all the voice or all the lines.
Jesus
you had like
Christ.
4 paragraphs to read, and the other characters were just like, "Come back when you have villages."
Can you throw up a trailer for this one, Thomas, so we can see kind of what we're talking about with the first person to CRPG? It is kind of it throws you at first. You're just like, what?
Yeah. And it not only had the CRPG elements and the first person stuff, but it also has a little bit of combat, which is a little silly.
Turn-based.
It's cool enough. It's turn-based, and of course the attacks are based on quote-unquote rhythm. It's a ring that diminishes, and you have to hit it just right in order to get the proper attack damage, which is a cool little twist. But it looks like all the combat events are pretty. It looked like they were linear to me, but we'll see if we get to play it. We'll see if there's a little bit of surprise elements in there.
I'm interested.
It's a really cool concept.
Just watching you play it, I was wondering if it felt tedious to you to jump back and forth. Like you were like, oh, I need to go get this thing, so I guess I have to back out and then pop back in. Did that feel tedious, or did it all feel pretty okay?
Like I think it helps as far as the immersion goes. It kind of brings you closer to your character, but at the same time, if it were any slower, I think it would have taken me out of it. Thankfully that button click, it takes you exactly to where you were, because once you enter the book, you're in that spot where the book is at all times, in the real world, so to speak. So definitely interesting. I would.
And
really
it says
like
wake up. Like when you dive into the book, when you are coming out of it, it says wake up. You have to hit the button to wake up. So
I feel like something
it's
in the
interesting.
story is gonna bring that back, where you actually have conflicts in real life.
Yeah, it's interesting. I would definitely say, as compared to the other two out of the demo day we did yesterday, that those we were like, we definitely recommend this. And I feel like with the Bookwalker, we were like, I mean, check it out in the demo, like see if you're into it. But it does feel a little. Some of the writing was pretty good, but I also felt like some of it was a little like too on the nose. Like it was like, I think all of your combat things were like ink stab.
So
ink splatter. Like it was just kind of like, all right.
I'll attribute that to being a demo, but we'll see.
It was a little. Everything's book related.
Some of the stuff. So I had. I've been trying to articulate this thought I've had about games like this, because Lord Chrome posted about Coffee Talk Episode 2. I don't think it's like a sequel. I think it's like technically an add-on for existing Coffee Talk game.
Yeah.
And Coffee Talk was the first thing I thought about when we were playing Into the Pit, and you're like, why isn't this voice acted? Like there's all sorts of words and stuff. And for me, like Coffee Talk is a game that is fine. part of my issue is because I tried to stream it, it's a lot of talking and it's physically difficult on my throat. Because I want to read everything out loud, I don't want everybody to have to stop what they're doing and look and read my screen for the entire stream.
Yeah.
So like stuff that's voice acted is good. That doesn't mean though that every game needs to be voice acted. So the thought that I've had trouble articulating is like, well, where does this line, like, when should you do this and when should you do that? Because to people who stream, it means, I have one set of needs. But to people who don't stream, my struggle means nothing. You can't relate to it.
Yeah.
So it's like with the Bookwalker, I feel like the things that we were reading are very much best left to be read and not to be spoken. And same with Coffee Talk. There was stuff that was like, well, people don't talk like this, but that's part of why that's part of why you're reading it, and it's not voice acted because you get to read, ... when there's an awkward silence and stuff.
I played the entirety of Disco Elysium before they had voice acting, and that's a lot of reading.
Yeah.
It was great, and I loved it, but also, like, once the update came out and I played it, I was like, oh, fuck, yeah, this was needed. There's a narrator and all this stuff, and it just, like, really... But a game like that, it made money enough to afford that, Yeah,
because that was after it had been... the 1.0 came out, they went back and then did a huge amount of extra work, which is such a crazy undertaking.
It was the original intention of the game, basically. It's like that's why I think they call it the director's cut or something like that. It's like the original intention was to have it fully voiced and to do all that, and they just could not really do that for its original release. So,
well,
but yeah,
in that, just before we leave, like this thought, we did talk on the demo day last night about playing Pyre. We've thrown around the idea of playing Pyre for a long time.
Fuck yeah!
Pyre is a visual novel style game with other elements in it. That's all non-voice acted. So, we'd talked about getting together 2 or 3 or even 4 of us to watch and play that game together. But I think the real money is in getting a whole crew together and having people voice act on stream. Like actually pick a character and you read all their lines and stuff.
So the only problem I see with this is that everybody's got to be on call and available, because basically if you decide to take you pick who goes with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The point would be everybody just loads up and everybody wants to be involved would load up and then we just figure it out. Whoever's there makes it. I'm not going to be like, all right, Chris, I know that you have like a date with Devin today, but like, bro, I'm about to pick your character. Tell her you got something going on. So it'll be.
I picked a character. The one I called dibs on is pretty lovable, and there's no way that you won't always pick him.
Oh, cool.
And then when it's time for him to ascend, you're like, yeah, you're going. See ya, buddy.
What was it, Sir Gilman the Bold?
Sir Gilman.
Sir Gilman.
Sir Gilman is the man.
I know him because the song at the end of the game. I've listened to it a zillion times.
He's amazing.
But Carlos is right. This is not a podcast about Pyre.
You're right.
This is a podcast specifically about Bookwalker.
Well, let's move on to another one. I have some quick things, some quick thoughts on Battlefield 2042. Thomas, if you want to go ahead and pop up those 2 trailers for me.
Yep.
Man, this is a game that Chris is going to be fucking top tier at. I can tell you that right
they need to give me that sponsorship ASAP.
Yeah, baby.
So Carlos and I were talking about this when we started the stream last night. The idea was originally we were going to do the demo dip first and then Battlefield, but stuff happened, so we started Battlefield first.
This is the second time this week that I've shown up late to my own stream. It's rough, man. And we've only had 2 streams. This is now the 3rd. But
yeah. So Battlefield 2042, I played the open beta, which is currently available on PC. I think it's available on everything. But it is... I remember that I haven't played Battlefield since Battlefield 1, I believe, which is the World War I version. And that's 5 or 6 years old now. And this is much different. This game needs some fucking work. boys and girls. It is in rough shape. This is an open beta, but it is.
Well, I mean, open beta's tomorrow, like according to this. So
yes, but the open beta technically started a couple days ago on Wednesday with people who have who have pre-ordered and people who have the EA Pro or whatever that I have, the subscription. But yeah, there's just like a lot of latency issues. There is extreme pop-in. There's 128 players in each match.
Oh, really? Oh man, that sounds like such a cool thing. But when I popped in when you were mid-game last night, whew, boy.
It's
we might need to dial that down to about 12.
Yeah,
it's tough times.
So it's like getting your mind back to how that game is played, and like you don't just run to the objective, because if you run to the objective, you're going to die because there's 128 people in this map that'll just murder you.
So it does feel a lot like Warzone, though. So if Warzone is your thing, that's kind of, I think, where they aimed for a little too much.
It doesn't feel like that, though. It feels like Battlefield, just new. But yeah, there's like, I was in a helicopter shooting, and like I was shooting the gun, and where I was aiming, and the bullet would fly out way down here. Like the huge mortar shell I was shooting out way down here, even though I was aiming up here. It's just, there's issues here that have to get fixed. I remember when the last like modern-ish Battlefield came out, which I believe was 3. That's the one I played the most of.
Was it 3? Was it 1?
No, 1 is World War I.
Modern as far as the actual game style.
Yes, game like Modern Warfare-ish style. Gotcha. You're in modern times. And that game, I remember when you looked at it, you're like, wow, these people look real. Because it was the first time we were really seeing Frostbite engine at that time and all that. You're just like, wow, these people look amazing. These people do not look amazing now, which is weird. Like the characters look bad. Their faces are very plain. Very simple, no real animation to them. The death throws animation is weird and bad. It is a beta, so I like me saying all this. It could be better when the game comes out in a month. But what I would say is, if you are interested in Battlefield 2042, wait for some reviews to drop on this game before you pick it up. I luckily have the EA Pro service that I pay for, so I will just get it anyway.
Do you have that through Game Pass? Do you have Game Pass Ultimate, which I think
so
has
I have Game Pass, but it gives you a you open the open beta for the EA Pro thing, and you can purchase EA Pro through that EA.
The
tab.
EA desktop.
Yeah, the EA desktop. Thank you, EA desktop. Thank you. One really cool thing that is interesting about this game is customizing your weapon on the fly. What I mean by that is all your attachments that you unlock and everything, you just like, I was using a controller, you just hold L1 and you like hold the gun in front of you, and then you have 4 slots. You have like scopes on the top, magazines on the right, attachments at the bottom, and your muzzles and stuff on the left. And you just hold L1 and use your square, triangle, circle, X buttons to cycle through those and pick what you want on your weapon, and you just go. And you can get into a situation where you're like, I need a longer scope. Mm-hmm. Change it on the fly, which is so interesting. But like I said, this beta has a lot of rough things about it. Now, I've seen some people are streaming it and it seems to be running fine. I don't know if it's my rig, but it's telling me it's auto setting my rig to high settings. And maybe that's an issue, and maybe I need to lower the settings and it'll look crisper and cleaner.
I know, I sure did.
There's a ton of pop-in.
When we played whatever that Game Pass game was, the twin stick shooter that came out, I don't know, like maybe a month and a half ago. it was all busted. Whenever there's an explosion, your frame rate goes to 2.
The Ascent.
The Ascent.
The Ascent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my computer was like, oh yeah, you can handle it, don't worry. And I'm like, I'm not sure that's the right call. And it wasn't. It definitely wasn't.
Maybe I can mess around in the settings and make it run a little better.
I'll play it this weekend and I'll tell you, what I see from it.
This is something I hate about PC gaming, and that it just drives me insane. Is like this game on PlayStation 5, right? Will just run at its settings and work totally fine. For some reason, with a fucking PC, I have to get into the settings of each game and change shit around. What in the fuck? Why? What is the point of this? Why can my PC not just figure it out itself and take care of it?
Dadgummit.
This is a dumb thing that the PC Master Race has done to us, and it doesn't make any sense. And that don't make no sense.
Dude, I agree with you. I mean, I couldn't play the Halo Infinite beta because my graphics card did not meet the requirements, and that's the first time that's happened to me since I have had this PC for 5 years or something like that.
It was like when we tried to play Back 4 Blood on this PC, it would not work.
Yeah.
And then I pop into it, the open beta on my PlayStation 5 works fine.
Yeah.
What?
And so,
Why?
same with with Halo Infinite, it's just like, oh, if you just play on your Xbox, do it. Or if you can play on your Xbox, do it.
It's like so. It's just, I don't get it, and I don't understand why we pay so much for these things to then always have to make sure your drivers are updated. Update your damn self.
I mean, I think that's what a Steam Deck is for. I mean,
God,
for a while, my personal opinion was that most people who are serious gamers who play a lot, regardless of their knowledge of the industry or how much they talk about it or anything like that, I was like, the only reason that a lot of those people don't play PC is because it's expensive. And I think that's that is one of the reasons that a lot of people don't game on PC. Instead, they stick to their consoles. But now that I've had just errors and errors and errors on my computer with games that I know should be running better than they are, but it's part user error on my side and part this game is not optimized for my specific PC because there are a zillion things for them to account for, and that's hard. It's like, you know what? No, these people aren't just playing PlayStation like I did for 5 years and not even own a PC. They're not doing that just because of the price. They're also doing that because it just freaking works. When they download the game, it just runs. They don't have to update a driver, like you said. They don't have to make sure that they reach the minimum specs. You don't have to worry about any of that stuff. You don't have to worry about your CPU usage because I get hit with that all the time because of my graphics card.
Yeah, I think it's, and at this point, PC gaming has, this is a weird thing to say, they got to catch up. They have to figure this shit out because, honestly, a lot of games that are, the fact that I have the EA Pro thing, all of my EA games have to be played through here, which is frustrating because then they do things like the new Madden. All of the updates that they made to that game are only on next-gen consoles and not on
really?
PC. So what is the fucking point? This is supposed to be the most next-gen thing that we have.
Which, by the way, I don't need to extend this conversation extra, but one of the news items that we missed here was actually that Capcom is pushing to turn all their stuff PC. Did you see that?
Oh, is that right?
And it's going to be hilarious because of all these issues.
Ah.
Yeah.
Well,
they're wanting to get out of the console game, kind of. So, yeah. It's a very interesting topic for another day, I think. Yeah,
I've bitched enough about Battlefield 2042. It does have some cool things. It is exciting just to get into a big match and just be like, holy shit, look at all the stuff that's going on. But still I've played 6 or 7 games, still have yet to see a tornado, still have yet to see the big explosion. I know it's happening for people, haven't seen it. So there's that.
Well, I'm interested to see it when it's just a little more technically ready. But that ain't today.
For sure.
That ain't today.
It's not today. Tornado gate.
That's funny. Well, do you guys want to take a quick little break before we hit up the news? I gotta go to the bathroom, so that's where I'm at.
Well, we have like 2 more games to talk about.
What we do?
But I will talk to Carlos about Flynn, Son of Crimson. How about that?
Okay, bye.
Yeah.
I will
We
load
just
up the
won't-
video for this, though.
Yeah, just load up the video while we talk. Load up the long one. There's a long one. It's the second one. Load that up so that, we are talking over stuff.
Got it, dude.
Yeah, talk to me about this game, Carlos, and how you found it and what it is.
Of course. Flynn, Son of Crimson. It was one of the games that came onto Game Pass suddenly. It was not something that was on my list of potential things to grab, but
You got to hit play, Thomas.
Of course he does. I think it came out late last month.
There it is.
But, okay, we can kind of tell that it's doing stuff.
Yeah, there we go.
This is a really gorgeous side-scrolling adventure, and that's it. We've been talking about all these fucking hybrid games, and this was something that I actually played on mouse and keyboard, or just keyboard, because I didn't have my mouse and controller set up at the time, and I was like, you know what, I could just WASD this, and I did. It felt really good. As you can see, this art is just really crisp, really clean. You've got some magic use that you can do. You've got this upgradable blade.
Looks like he swapped weapons too. Yeah.
Yeah, and in the very beginning, you are kind of protected by this guardian of the land, and it's this really gorgeous like wolf, dog, lion creature. It's absolutely beautiful, and I think it has a really cute, heartwarming story, but it's no frills, just really good side-scrolling action adventure that, like I said, it's on Game Pass. I think it's relatively short. It's probably around the 8 to 10 hour mark.
Okay.
And it's just a whole lot of fun. It's something to play in between longer sessions of other stuff.
Palette cleanser.
Yeah, it's an absolutely perfect palette cleanser. You see all these enemies, and they all have very specific number of hits that they can take. And once you know an enemy, then you're not going to be surprised by them again. So I have yet to get to one of the major bosses yet, so I'm looking forward to seeing that. But yeah, it's just a really good time. It's really gorgeous. It takes almost no hard drive space.
Yeah.
And it's available on Game Pass. It's available on everything. I think it's PS4, Xbox, and Switch. Super cool little game. And it's pretty cheap on Switch too.
Sean wants to know: is it like a Vania style, or is it you're just side scrolling like an old
the map that I've unlocked so far is just a map. Like you go to the levels very much Yoshi's or Super Mario World style. That's the OG map. Just level by level. You don't have to navigate anything. So as far as I've gone, I think I played through 7 or 8 different levels. And you're just traveling the land. This first bit of the game, you're trying to heal this guardian protector that you have. Then you can see that in the video there. That gorgeous animal is your protector in the first part. So I'm looking forward to actually healing him up and seeing what, or her maybe, and seeing what kind of adventure comes out when I think you actually end up getting like the ability to ride that animal and battle with it. So there's a whole lot of other stuff to get to in it.
Well, looks cool. It reminds me of kind of Scourgebringer a little bit, but it looks like there's some interesting. Oh, there you go, riding the thing. It kind of looks like Scourgebringer, but there's like some interesting like combos and stuff you're doing here that really kind of saying that it's a simple, side scroller. Yes, but also there's like a little puzzle element there. There's some platforming, but the combos and the combat there looked interesting. Like there was one where he was doing like a Shovel Knight stomp on the enemy that wasn't his normal attack. It does look cool.
Elements of Flappy Bird, I see. Interesting.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah, the traversal is pretty cool. Like you said, it
Flappy
does have
Bird.
some less kind of things. It definitely has some puzzle elements, but it's nothing that's ever too difficult. At least to the point that I've gotten to. So, and there's the map navigating there.
Oh, here's your upgrades and stuff.
There's a skill tree too. So I have not opened up the skill tree yet, so that's legit.
Nice.
But yeah, it's just one of those things to play in between everything else, and I don't think it'll be a whole lot of game, but it's a good time. Grab it up wherever you can. I think it's $20 on everything, and like I said, it's on Game Pass. And
this is like one of those sweet titles that maybe you get like a PSN card or an Xbox card for Christmas, and it's $50, and so what you do is you spread that across a bunch of different games, and you only have $2 left, and you're like, what is $2 on sale right now because it's Christmas time, and a game like this is $2, and you play it, and you're like, I'm glad I spent $2, like my
Chris,
extra money after my other big purchases around there.
You cut out on my end as soon as you spoke loudly. You're like, man, and then you're gonna be like,
That's Discord for you, baby.
That's funny though. Is this Carlos? Does this fit under the family-friendly category?
Oh yeah, it's 110%. Like the official game description says, Flynn, Son of Crimson is a beautifully handcrafted 2D action platformer that will take you on a journey of discovery and conflict as you learn to master the art of Crimson energy. Help Flynn and Dex save Rosantica before the evil from the Scourge claims his home. Yeah, it's very, very kid-friendly. Absolutely great. Dex is the doggo. She is, like I said, she's like a guardian protector of the realm that you're in. It's super cute, and it starts off with your character Flynn, like getting shit on because he's kind of a dumb kid that doesn't do his chores, you know.
Right.
So it's super cute. I highly recommend it, and the art is absolutely gorgeous. Very satisfying.
Cool.
Well, Thomas, let's talk about something you've been playing on the brunch special that you have not talked about for 2 weeks for some reason.
Yeah, I forgot to talk about it last week, but I didn't finish it until this past weekend. I played the Artful Escape. That is that game is a trip. Let's get this let's go in here. This game is pretty hard to quantify. It is a game where you explore beautiful environments, especially in space, and you play a guitar, and you discover your identity. Yeah. It has great music all throughout. That, like, some of them have lyrics in them, some of them don't, but they all really give you vibes for the specific environment you're in. So, like, when you're in Colorado, this folk music is playing, but when you get transported to space in the psychedelic journey, you start playing all this stuff on your guitar that is it's not what everybody back home expects you to play.
You're just fucking shredding.
You're shredding. You're playing the guitar the entire game, and it did feel better after I switched to a controller. But it's really hard to fail. It's really hard to do wrong in this game. You're never really punished for anything. It's mostly just you holding down the strum the guitar button, and as you run to the right, it's a side scroller, the entire environment explodes in color and light around you and sound. And then you have kind of a boss engagement at the end of each area where you speak to usually some giant special entity, and you play music together. And there's always some big fanfare at the end, and things are crazy looking. It's really cool, and
he's a real Orville Schredenbacher.
Orville Schredenbacher, that's right. I forgot. That's such a great name. So that is the Artful Escape. I played it on Game Pass. Beat it in, I would say a normal person would beat it in 6 hours. It took me longer than that, but not.
Because you're not normal.
Because I'm not normal, and I play slow. I play everything slow. It was a lot of fun. So in the latter half of the game, probably 3/4 of the way through, you spend the entire game trying to build your own identity. Like, you go to space, and your whole deal is that you're trying to become a different person because you're tired of trying to be the person that people expect you to be back home. They expect you to grow up to be a folk singer, just like your very famous uncle. And you don't want to do that. You don't want to play folk music.
He gives off Bob Dylan vibes.
Yep. And so you go on this journey, and you create your own story. You just make it up as you go and build renown, and everyone loves you, and it's pretty feel good. So about 3/4 of the way through the game, it gives you the option to like dress your character, and so no matter what, you play as the character that you saw in the trailer. You play as this guy here, and when you get to dress your character up, you go one by one. You like start with your pants, and then you go to your socks, and then your jacket, or your top, and then your hair, and your glasses, and your jacket, and all this stuff. You really get to make your character. You can make a character like a David Bowie character if you want. Like there are a zillion customization options, and I'm like, what is this? We're 3/4 of the way through the game, and you just now introduced a character creator sim. Like, it was really entertaining, and I ended up liking it actually a lot more than I expected. I made my character this orange and purple and teal. I don't know, thing with like everything's wings and flowing and stuff, and it looked really cool. But you could make your character any gender you wanted in there too, which I liked. So you can turn your character into whatever look you want, and you could make a lot of different looking characters in that game. But
cool.
yeah, it's a game about finding your and building your identity, and I feel like they did a lot more in that direction than I expected them to. And honestly, having that character creator was actually really like impactful to me. I thought the stuff was cool before that, but then when I really got to see what I could make, it felt like it was my character at that point, which is the whole point of that story beat. But it's
and
since
they don't have a voice line for your, they just do the and so, and it's like and guitar sound.
Yeah, they're like, oh my gosh, we love you, the enigmatic and it's great, and it never gets old no matter how many times you hear it. So,
awesome.
So that's the Artful Escape. That is on Game Pass, and that is a strong recommend from me. That was a feel-good, easy Sunday game, and I feel like the trailer. When I watched the trailer, it just doesn't do justice to what this game is.
I remember seeing the trailer and being really excited for it, and then it just kind of fell off my radar for a while.
Right,
yeah,
because we didn't really know what it was going to be.
Yeah, because the trailer, you're just like, what even is this? But yeah, it's got. Carlos, you talked about it a while ago. Well, because you played it, so we've already talked about it on the show. But now I've played it, and I only played this because you recommended it, and I'm really glad you did. It
was a great brunch.
It's a great cozy game.
Right down your alley.